Hi, in this video I'm looking at using Simpson's rule to estimate the integral of 1 on 1 plus x squared with respect to x between 0 and 1, and I'm going to use n equals 4. So that means I'm going to have 4 slices. Now what we mean by this is that if I graph the function 1 on 1 plus x squared, it actually looks something like this. It asymptotes towards the negative x-axis, rises up around here, and then asymptotes back towards the positive x-axis. And this point here is 1. And so we want to use Simpson's rule, which is that we're going to cut between x equals 0 and x equals 1 into n equals 4 slices. So we're going to have 4 slices. So one about there, one there, one there, and one there. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 slices. And that's going to help us approximate the area under this curve. Now Simpson's rule says that the integral between a and b of f of x with respect to x is approximated by taking the width of your slice divided by 3 multiplied by the value at the function at the first bound. So f0 or fa, usually this is done as f0, plus 4 times the value of the function at x1 plus the value of the function at x3 plus the value of the function at x5 onwards. So all basically the odd terms, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, etc. So you add up all the odd terms, plus 2 times the sum of the function at the even terms. So x2 plus x4 plus f of x6 and so on. So all the even terms. Plus, and lastly, we finish off with the value of the function at the last term. So you can effectively think about this as the width on 3 multiplied by the first plus 4 lots of the odds plus 2 lots of the evens plus the last. And so we're going to use this to help us approximate this integral here, giving us this area between 0 and 1. So f of x for us is this 1 on 1 plus x squared. And our slices, well, my first x0, that's my first bound, which is 0. And my last slice, xn, which is going to be x4, because I'm going to have n equals 4, is going to be my last bound, which is x equals 1. And then I need 4 slices in between. So that means that I need what is going to be x1, what is going to be x2, and what is going to be x3. So I need to know what these are. If I think about it logically, going to be the difference between my bounds, so my last bound minus my first bound, divided by how many slices, basically the average of the interval. Okay, so I've got 1 minus 0 divided by 4, which means that my width is going to be 1/4. So each of these sections up here are 1/4 wide. So if I'm starting at 0 and I want to add a width of 1/4, that means that my first bound is going to be defined between 0 and 1/4. And then my second slice is going to be 1/4, add another 1/4 and we get 1/2. And then so that's my first slice, my second slice, my third slice is going to be between 1/2 and 3/4. And then my fourth slice is going to be between 3/4 and 1. And so now I just need to work out what is the value of the function 1 on 1 plus x squared at each of these points. So if I want f of x0, which is f of 0, I'm going to have 1 on 1 plus 0 squared, which is going to be 1 on 1, because the 0 doesn't matter. And then f of x1, which is going to be f of a quarter, is going to be 1 on 1 plus a quarter squared, which a quarter squared is a 16th, so we're going to have 1 on 1 plus a 16th, which means I'm going to have 1 on 17/16, which is the fraction 16 on 17. F at x2 is going to be f of a half, which is going to be 1 on 1 plus a half squared, which is 1 on 1 plus a quarter, which is going to give us 1 on 5 quarters, which is going to give us 4/5. F of x3, which is f of 3 quarters, is going to be 1 on 1 plus 3 quarters squared, which is going to be 1 on 1 plus 9/16, and adding the 1 plus 9/16 together, and we're going to have 1 on 25/16. And so this is going to be 16 on 25. And lastly, f of x4 is going to be f of 1, which is going to be 1 on 1 plus 1 squared, which is 1 on 2. So there we have it. I've got all the values I need now to plug into my rule. I've just got to plug them in and work it out and get my answer. So let's do that. So following our rule, our approximation, so we've got the integral between 0 and 1 of 1 on 1 plus x squared with respect to x is going to be our width on 3. Our width was a quarter, so I'm going to have a quarter on 3 multiplied by f of x0. F of x0 is 1. Add on 4 lots of, I want all my odd terms. So I want x1, x3, x5, and so on. Well, I've got an x1 and I've got an x3. So I'm going to have f of x1 is 16 on 17 plus f of x3, which is 16 on 25. And then I'm going to add on 2 lots of all my evens. So 2 lots of my evens. In this case, I've only got x2 for evens. This one can't be counted as even because it's my last term. So I've only got x2, which is 4/5. And then I've just got to add on my last term, which is f of x4, which is a half. And so now I need to work out all of this. So my approximation to my integral, a quarter on a third is going to be a 12th. A quarter on 3, sorry. And we're going to multiply by, and I'm just going to chuck this entire sum into a calculator. And that gives us 8,011 on 850. Now that doesn't really matter too much to us because we're now going to just go and multiply that by 1 over 12 and get an answer that means that our integral between 0 and 1, between 1 on 1 plus x squared with respect to x is approximately equal to, I can't use the definitely equal to, 8,011 on 10,200. Now if I turn that into a decimal, that gives us the answer of 0.785, rounded off to 3 decimal places. Now if we go back to our original integral and think about doing that using proper integration rather than an approximation, because this one can be integrated, the 1 on 1 plus x squared, so if I look at doing that over here, the integral between 0 and 1 of 1 on 1 plus x squared with respect to x, that actually integrates to inverse tan or arctan of x between 0 and 1. So the actual answer is arctan of 1 minus arctan of 0, and if you work that out, that actually gives you 0.785 as well. So it's pretty close. And so if we want a more accurate answer, we would have to actually look at some more decimal places to see if there's any difference. Now, the arctan one, we've done it correctly, gives us 785,398,16,3397, and the full one gives us 785,392,156. So they're almost the same. We got 0.785, 0.785, 3939, and then they differ. They differ here. So from that point onwards, they're different, but we're accurate to, what's that, 5 decimal places. So that's not too bad a level of accuracy. So the Simpson's rule, which uses this approximation to find the area underneath the curve, which is the width divided by 3 times by the sum of the first plus 4 times the sum of the odds plus 2 times the sum of the evens plus the last term, which if we work it out for our function, which we did for 4 steps, which had a width of a quarter, we put them all in, worked it out, and we got a reasonable level of accuracy. In this case, we could check our accuracy because of the fact that our function that we were integrating could be integrated, whereas the Simpson's rule is quite a good approximation system for functions that aren't integratable. And because of the way it works, it's easy enough to work out. And the more, of course, slices you do, the more accurate you get. But with only 4 slices, we were reasonably accurate.